IVM.
Hello, Ayushi.
Hi, Tash. Welcome to a very special episode. It's special for two reasons. One, it is Women's Day. Wow. Yay. Beautiful. And secondly, which to me is more exciting than Women's Day, is we have my favorite guests of the season. The season's not even done yet, but you are my favorite guests. We have the amazing, the one, the only, the Joshi sisters.
Yay! Hello, happy to be here.
Thank you for having us here.
Welcome,
and
Priyaji.
Ghatti
Priyanka
going
ji.
off auspiciously in the back. Oh, now it's stopped.
Yeah, now it's stopped.
But it's an
That's
auspicious
amazing.
moment. So
We are a God-fearing
Yes.
podcast. So, in the sense is that we fear
Absolutely.
all the gods. We don't speak of any of them.
Yes.
All of them are great. Worship them all. But this is amazing. Thank you so much for coming on to our show, Agla Station Adulthood, obviously. And we just wanted to talk with two badass, really. I actually don't like calling women badass because it's so cliche. It sounds like an ad. I'm really sorry. I take that back.
Along with that, another one I personally hate is Boss Babe. Matlab, what is?
oh my god,
I hate that.
Boss
I
babe.
mean,
Boss Babe to is 30.
it's bad.
I hate it. It's
I'm just
Yeah.
going to go
What are
ahead
the
and
ones that
say, like,
bother you?
for me, it's badass. Like, I don't like badass.
No, I'm not asking you, Ayushi. It's not all about you. I'm asking our guests. Can you get over yourself?
No, I'm used to this being a two-woman show.
which word do you hate? Like descriptor.
I hate any descriptor that makes people want to talk to me because I would rather sit in silence. So just don't call me at all. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that.
It's a brave
Yes.
step she has taken today.
Yes.
And actually she's bestowed her presence onto us actually.
Yes.
I'm lucky. I barely speak to her. So I mean she barely speaks to me.
I'm honored that she said yes. Firstly, I was like excited to ask Supriya to be on it anyway, but our goal was to get you both together.
Yes.
Because we are obsessed with you two as a duo. Ayushi and I are obsessed with you. My sister Natasha and I are next level obsessed with y'all also. Because you guys embody the kind of sisters we want to be also. But we fight too much.
No, we fight too.
Yes.
But not enough actually. We do fight, but not enough. Should we fight more? I don't know.
I feel like we should because it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
So we
like,
should.
as you, I mean, do you have a sister?
I don't
mean,
have a
Natasha has
sister. I have a
Do you
brother. But when he was born, I was very upset
Okay.
that it was a boy. And since then, I have been consistently upset. But no,
but she used to call him Charlotte when he was little.
I still call
To
him
pretend
Charlotte.
that he was
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
I liked the
Wow.
name Charlotte and it was a girl's name. So I was like, if I say it enough, but
It
he stuck
may-
to
it
his
may
end of the
change.
spectrum, unfortunately.
Yes.
But anyway, what we really wanted to talk about and what we really wanted to talk to you guys about was what's the right way of saying without, again, sounding very cliche that, oh, being a woman in the 21st century, what's that like? Like it's 2021 and we've come out of this pandemic and we've all been at home and things have changed. Social dynamics have changed. The way we interact with each other has really taken a few hits and has kind of evolved. Some people have enjoyed it. I think Priyanka would have enjoyed it because she doesn't have to speak to anyone now. But I think with all the different things that we've been seeing, like whether it's politically, whether it's health-wise, whether it's just like, the resurgence and the ebb and flow of things like Me Too and the power of the internet, like recently with Priya Ramani's case and then Disha, the activist who just got bail today and these kind of things. And we're constantly facing this thing of like, this is this situation is seen through the lens of being a woman. Like as a woman, this is the situation. As a woman, you react this way. As a woman, you get to have only X, Y, Z feelings. You can't say this, you can't say that. And I'm not here to only talk about the negatives that we go through, but there's something to say that this experience is so unique that sometimes you just have to look at another woman in a situation and you can make eyes and immediately she knows what's happening. And I think that bond is so special. So we wanted to just explore that with you guys a little bit more. And how do you relate with each other as being, say, two professional women's women?
Ayushi, you know, ये बहुत interview जैसा हो रहा है. I'm just going to ask casually,
but I'm
guys, how's your day been? Where you at? We'll get to the meat. Let's get to know these amazing women who joined us today to chill and chat and just be fab.
It's because we've had so long to get to recording. We've been chatting for so long that I forgot that we have to do that part.
But I was not. I was shunned to the room to reset my camera and headphones.
Okay,
So I
how
missed
was
out,
your
guys.
day?
How are you guys? Also, so Priyanka, there's not much known about you. You are a mystery. So we want to know.
I like to keep it that way, you know, because I feel like, you know, as more and more is revealed, more and more surprises will come about, you know. Where am I from? Who am I? Am I really Pingya or am I someone in disguise? I like to keep
That's so exciting.
Wow. Now, please be normal.
Okay. So, what should I say about me? I guess I'm like anyone else.
So, may I ask?
Tell us about your day job.
No, what is your day job? Yeah, I need to know what your day job is.
Okay. So my day job is, which often turns into a late night job, is that I am a copywriter in advertising. Yes, I have been working in advertising for 9 very long years now. Yes, so I have. That's what I do. I write, I think, and that's pretty much it. That's my day job. And besides that, just getting into shenanigans and doing stuff with Supriya. That's the fun stuff in life. And yeah, when she...
How would you describe yourself?
Howard?
Oh, and that's not an interviewee question. You told me.
Why do you want to work here?
What's your CTC?
What's your strength and your biggest weakness?
Why should we hire you, girl? Tell us.
Honestly, I was like, we'll just do for 1 hour and laugh and enjoy.
Yeah.
But Ayushi really
we can
has
laugh and enjoy and cry, because that is the point of being a woman,
life,
right? And also life, yes.
And
But
also life.
I think I must put forth my agenda of crying, because I think it's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And I keep pushing this on my sister also. She's not a big crier. I'm a huge crier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So
And Ayushi is not.
Oh my God.
guys, we're all
I'm going to cry today for the first time on the show, because I have found something in common with Pigya. A true fan. No, you don't understand. Ritasha is a crier. And I'm not trying to say this to make fun of her at all. I do that when she cries to her
Supriya
face.
and I can understand.
yeah.
But it's a huge thing when you have, like, how does it work for you guys? Because Tash, I feel, is always emotionally supercharged. So we go into a situation, and if something's slightly upsetting, the tears start, and I'm like, okay, I get it now. Like, I accept that you want to cry, but how long is this going to take? Just so we can, move on with the situation.
No, I think I cry very
to me
easily.
about
I
crying.
cry
Yeah.
very easily, and I cry over some the most basic, like, the trope of basic white girl. I'm the basic cry girl. I can cry at anything. You show me a YouTube video. Oh my God, you watch those YouTube videos of that judge who is in America, and these people come and they tell them their story, and then the judge that dismisses the case. Small, and then they tell their story. Oh, I to binge watch and just to cry. I just keep watching and cry, and Priyanka doesn't feel the same way. There are moments
I cry,
Yes,
but it's inside.
yeah, she does cry. She's an emotional person, but she doesn't show it. So there are some times when there's some Disney movies like what's that movie? Coco. Now that's okay. Priyanka hates it if I see her and she's crying.
Yeah.
So Coco, any Disney movie actually, but mostly Coco. We've seen it 100 times now, and
I was going to say, it's like a specific
we
thing.
watch it when we want to let out tears, okay, because it's such a beautiful film, okay. So there's that one moment. If you guys, whoever's listening to this, please watch.
No,
this.
I know.
Just
I
watch
am
it.
the one who has not
Oh my
watched
god,
Oh my
Coco, so
Ritasha,
God.
I have to watch
please.
It's so good.
Ritasha,
It's so good.
you are a crier. You need to today only go after this and watch this movie, please.
No. She's here for
Oh,
dinner.
okay.
She cannot
Tomorrow, watch it.
Tomorrow.
But
I had 3 big cry days last week where I was only crying Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. मैं 3 दिन लगातार रोई हूँ. तो अब तो मैं रोने से break ले रही हूँ.
चलो ठीक है. But देखना ये film
When you're
definitely.
ready, when you're ready to really cry
When I'm
again,
emotionally
Yeah.
ready
yes,
again.
you have
Please
to
watch
watch
it.
this movie.
So there's the
Done.
climax of this movie. Oh my god! Like you will weep buckets, okay? And Galti se also, if I look at Priyanka, she gets so angry at me. Like, don't look at me! Don't look at me! She just doesn't want me to see her crying.
Yeah.
But my god, it is. I laugh at her. That's my one opportunity I get to laugh at her because she has
But
several.
Priyanka, are you like that with everyone?
Yes,
Like you
I'm
can't
very-
let anybody watch you cry?
Yes, I'm very guarded with my emotions. In fact, even I never reveal too much about how I'm feeling. I internalize everything. So even if I'm laughing or if I'm alone in the room and I'm watching a video and laughing and someone walks in, I'll stop laughing. It's like that because I don't want anyone to see what I'm actually feeling inside. So I am that person. Yeah, I don't know. There's
I
something.
love it. It's very unique.
It's very unique.
And it's so cool that you have this as who you are, but your internet personality or your personality with your sister online, the way it relates is, I mean, it's a little bit like this. Like I can believe that you are like this, but it's not like, I mean, it's so different because when you guys are hanging out together, you're like around
Yeah.
with, like, I mean, you wouldn't realize that you are that kind of person.
Yeah.
So this is how Priyanka and I have been relating to each other since we were young. I think that's the one thing that really, really bonds us is the fact that both of us I don't know what is it, like we don't care too much about being perfect. I think
Yeah.
that is the thing that really connects us. And we have been making home videos since we were literal children. Like I think on our Handycam, we've been making home videos. And the recurring theme is just this. We just love to... Can we swear?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
You want to
Ah,
down, you can
we
down.
we just around with the camera
Yeah.
and do just random things that probably will not make a single person laugh, will make us laugh.
Yeah.
And I think that is just how we actually connect. Because some days I wake up like, Priyanka, ye video banate hain aaj yaar. And we literally finish shooting it in 5 seconds. And we have put zero effort in making it. But somehow that video does really well also. So we don't know.
And we really enjoy doing
Yeah,
it.
I think the most creative satisfaction we get is
Yeah.
when we make these videos together.
Yeah.
So you, if I can sound like an interviewer for 1 second and go back to saying that something that you said that something that bonds you the most is that you don't care whether something is perfect or it's imperfect or whether how it's perceived. It's just that you really enjoy doing that. Now, that's
Yeah.
first of all, wow, to have that kind of self-assuredness is so cool. But also, is it kind of something that you've developed as you grew up, or like you guys always just had this thing of we don't give a shit, we're just gonna have a good time?
I think in some ways we have always been people who have not given a shit
Yeah.
in certain aspects of our life, and in certain aspects
We
of
give
course,
a
we
lot
give
of
a
shit.
But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we grew up in very isolated environments, meaning that we grew up only with our parents, and our parents were
Right.
doing their own thing. So for the longest time, it was just the two of us. In fact, growing up, it was just the two of us. We don't come from a large family, lots of cousins, and so it's always been us. So the only opinions that have mattered to us are
Each other's.
and
other's, yeah.
so it has never mattered. So and our opinions and our thought processes are very similar.
Yeah.
So because it has matched, we've never bothered about what others think. So I think that kind of reflects in the kind of stuff we put out even today, where it can be really, it could be the most stupid thing ever, but it makes sense to us and we
Yeah.
have fun doing it. So we don't care whether anyone else would really enjoy it or not. We had fun.
We had fun doing it, and we felt creatively satisfied. We've been
Yeah.
making music videos since we are young,
Yeah.
and we edited whole music videos just for our enjoyment.
Yeah.
We've just done because we thought it's so much fun.
Yeah.
But now because social media exists and you want to put something out because it made you feel happy. So it's nice that people or some people also find that funny, or some people also can relate to that.
I was sharing about the first time I saw you both as a duo on the internet was that amazing musical modern dance piece. Dun, 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 dun,
The
horsehead.
sunglasses.
And the
Yeah.
sunglasses
And
and
the
that
horse.
magazine and how the lipstick goes to the side. Oh, that lipstick shot. Oh, that magazine shot, that horse shot. Guys, that for me was art. I watched it over and over and over again. I didn't even
No, then
understand it, but it
we
gave
watched
me
it
joy.
together and we were like, but
Yeah.
the funniest thing is, Tash, when we saw you guys doing this, there was I think there was a point where we were almost jealous, because so much of when Ritasha and I were in school together, and we like kind of have been friends for a really long time now, and that's kind of where the podcast comes from, the chemistry or whatever. And we used to, in front of class, like in front of all our friends, again, we gave no shit. We used to sing. Do you guys remember the Vinita Cucini song? It's a fun day
Of
cooking
course.
in a
Yeah,
Vinita
yeah.
Cucini.
Yes.
So that was Aisha and my like,
Exactly.
number to perform.
And like, again, uninvited. Nobody wanted to see us be stupid in
And
front of the entire
I
class.
want to share one more thing with them because they will appreciate it the most. In lunch break, we used to go downstairs, okay, and there was like everyone was eating lunch and all. After we finished, Ayush and I had a live rendition of Tandoori Nights, where we would just do the Takatanan and the Tandoori Nights part, and it was a whole act where we were putting the kebabs on the skewers, putting the skewers into the fire, flaming that fire.
And people would
Wow.
watch this in like the stilted area of our school, where and this was in senior school, so there was grades like 8 till 12, 4 classes of everyone's in school uniforms, not looking like decent at all, but we did not care. We were just so happy to be relating about these stupid things with each other, and then we're like, if it makes us laugh and we're having a good time.
Yeah.
And then you saw other people having, even if they were maybe laughing at you, not maybe with you in that moment, you were just so excited to be able to spread that little bit of joy or that laughter, and it was so infectious. And then but also part of us was like, we grew up, we're still so young. You were growing up in the time when the internet wasn't so invasive in your life, so you didn't record every single thing that you did, and you didn't
Yeah.
put it up on the internet. And today, there's so many people that you see making content. And Ritasha and I send this to each other. We're like, dude, we've been doing these voices since we were 15 years old. And at some level, you're jealous. But then at the other level, I'm also so happy, because I'm like, there seems to be a space for everyone. There really does seem to be space and an audience and a voice for any, like the most bizarre things on the internet. Like the fact that people watch each other eat.
Oh my god, I love we are fans of mukbangs.
But
I
I'm
also
saying that
love
that's
watching
something.
eating videos.
I love them. They're so satisfying for different reasons.
I'm into pimple popping.
Ew,
videos.
I can't watch those. So I can
I
appreciate
got over
it.
them. I used to watch.
I can't watch them.
I love them, but the fact that this kind of content exists to cater to my late night, like while so I can go to sleep with that peacefulness, it popped.
Not everyone knows Ayushi's kinks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, it's not that. It's just like,
it was a joke, Ayushi.
It's
No,
satisfying.
but like a few years back, if you told somebody that I like to watch people eat on the internet, they'd think you're insane.
Yes.
Like what the hell is that? But now it's so normalized. Like I bought this Blue Yeti mic, and people are just like, "Arey, do mukbangs, do ASMR mukbangs." It's the best. It's the best background noise for anything. I totally support it, enjoy it.
That's us just talking about it being like, oh, it's just something that's enjoyable on the internet. But then you start seeing things of how, where, if you like, I like to see the origin of like even a video, like what started this and how did it get get where it got.
Mhm.
And if you think about it, this was something that was very from the Far East. It was something that was specifically kind of like Korean, Chinese,
Yes,
Japanese. It was in that range.
Yes.
But then again, with the
Mm.
spread of internet, social media and all of that, the way people took it over, and it's just like spread across
Yes.
the globe.
The
And-
world, yeah.
And and sometimes I just think, I'm like, if we are so accepting of the weirdest things on the internet, and we're just so like, no, this is cool because you like it. How is it that we haven't been able to come to a common consensus on things like equality, gender, like gay rights? And I'm not trying to make it serious. I'm just like, this is where my mind is going with this conversation right now, is that if we can accept that putting your hand in squishy sand is like the coolest thing ever, and for like 5 months, all everyone did on the internet is make goop and stick their hand
Yeah.
in it to make that fart sound. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can agree on this, but you can't agree that like women and men are the same. You really
Yeah.
that has not been able to get into your head. So in that ways, I find the internet frustrating.
Internet and also like real life, but
People-
that's
people.
mostly because these are things that are like if you question things in that way, it is reflective. But you don't have to be of any particular mindset to enjoy a good pimple popping video, right? So
Yeah.
but
So
you
it's
have
quite
to
an-
be a
it's quite an
particular
equalizer.
mindset. Yeah, and but you have to be a particular of a particular mindset to maybe read about equal rights or read about feminism or figure out what is
Yeah.
happening in the world. So that's what I mean, because these are such long debated topics that it becomes at a certain point it becomes almost uncomfortable to talk about. But you want to talk about pimple popping, there are 100 opinions and they're ready to, you know. But when it comes to things like feminism, gay rights, or anything that's a little bit more reflective and deeper, if your mind is set about a certain thing, it is very difficult to try to change that person or change your own mind also sometimes. But that's why I
Yeah.
think it's great to, you know, always consider yourself as a person who's always learning. So there's no ultimate, because there
Yeah.
not. So if you say I'm a feminist, that means you're the only, you know, everything about feminism. I don't know everything about feminism, but I'm a feminism sorry I'm a feminist in training. I'm a feminist who's learning.
Yes.
So that's it. That's how I think it should be for everyone.
I love that.
I think like what's really cool about that, what you just said about like learning constantly, is that even sounds like I'm plugging the topic, but I'm not. It's more like I also feel sometimes I'm still a woman in training. Like I'm not exactly
I mean, we
sure
all are, I feel.
the
like,
right way
Yeah.
to be a woman. Like I'm not really 100% sure what it means to be a proud feminist, or what it means to be like a career woman, or like
Yeah.
someone at home.
I
like,
feel
I don't-
anxiety even accepting these words. Like when dunya mein jaake
Yes.
bolu, I'm a woman. It
Yeah,
feels like cringe,
like
you
it's-
know?
But you know why? Because people on the internet have sort of made it
yeah.
something that you should feel a little embarrassed to talk about. Because I remember just a few years back, I proudly used to say, yeah, I'm a feminist, la la la. But there are X amount of troll pages that exist only to shut you up if you say these things. So now, because of
Yeah.
that sort of feedback, it's a little painful now to talk about without the anticipation of backlash, which is strange. I mean, why should someone feel upset that I'm saying that I'm a feminist? But the definition of feminism or a definition of a feminist has been so like negative, and the perception is so negative of that thing. A perception of a feminist is so like angry, like, oh, I will bash anybody who goes against me. And that is
And
I'm
hate
and
men.
let's-
Like that seems to be
yeah,
the
I hate men. That's, I mean, sure, but like that's not a feminist. But that's different. But it's just how it is. It's how the negative
Yeah, the perception
of it. And as I said, I am not the feminist. I am a feminist who's learning. So that's
In
why
training, yeah.
I have to question these things myself also. Like, am I ready today to hear 100 different people tell me that I'm a stupid fat feminist? Or am I just going to make a stupid video of me laughing with my sister and and put it on the internet. So these are the choices
Dude,
that you
absolutely.
have to
Yeah.
navigate every day.
Yeah. Same. Because you are like, I've also come to a point where I'm actually scared of like the kind, because I have some fun ideas sometimes to do like fun content, but then I'm like, wait, somebody's gonna come and say it's offensive here. How dare you say something like this?
Yeah.
And do you somewhere feel like there's a cap on your creativity because of a growing social media following and just the internet being how it is?
Sometimes.
I personally don't have those pressures. Maybe definitely compared to Supriya, because I don't have that much of a following. But I definitely feel like any kind of labels just add so much pressure on you, which is why I don't like to label myself in any way. Because how can you define yourself? I don't know who I am. There is so much about me. I'm just figuring out. I'm just trying to be a good person. That's all.
Oh my God, you're my spiritual guru now.
What you were saying about not wanting to label yourself as any one thing, because it seems not only does it seem restrictive, it also just seems to invite controversy into our lives, which is just so sad, but is the sad truth. And again, it's so frustrating to have to put yourself in this box where you're like, I want to be a lot of things, and I want to speak my truth or say that, yeah, I'm proud of this, or I'm happy about this development. But more and more, actually, with you find yourself censoring yourself, you find yourself like capping the things that you say and the things that you actually care about and that you could have an influence on people. Like, say, like you guys, you have big platforms, and I'm sure there are times when it crosses your mind to say, I'd like to say something about this. I'd like to let it be known that I am on this side of the line, or I stand with this person. But so often, I know Ritasha says it to me as well, and she'll be like, dude, I just can't get into it. Like, because look at what happens the minute I say something. Or like, I can't know about this, Ayushi, because it's too much for me. Like, I can't take it right now. If you put this on my plate as well, my mental health doesn't allow it. And now
it's the whole thing of like navigating also, like how much do you take care of yourself to be a wholesome, functional human being in this world, and at the same time go out and fight these fires, or at least be woke or socially responsible enough to put your thoughts out there while also not being completely broken. Yeah, that's my truth, and I'm guessing like a lot of people feel that way.
Of course. Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, because because funnily enough, sometimes the most non-controversial opinions can really spark off a huge unnecessary debate. So if these things can happen, imagine speaking about things that actually matter in this world. I am not as emotionally capable or strong to deal with things that will come my way if I said certain things, and I think Priyanka feels the same way. Just because it's just too much in my personal life is already weighing too much on my mind. There is already too many things. I don't want them to say anything about my family. I don't want them to say anything about my sister or my mother, my father. They don't know what I am going through in reality. So I'm not prepared for it. So then I cannot possibly put myself in this situation, as much as it hurts me so much. Like, it makes me feel so small. There are battles that you have to pick, and it's unfortunate that you have to pick battles. But that is just how it is for me, unfortunately. And I think for not just me, you have to be extremely strong. And I salute people who are that way, who speak their mind, who are absolutely ready to take a stand for whatever is right. And I wish that I was in that state as well, but I am not. I'm being very honest that
I think you're saying the things that a lot of people think in their mind. They think inside, but aren't quite able to say it. And what happens is you walk yourself into a corner where you're like, no, I believe this. I agree with you. This is wrong. This is wrong. But maybe I don't want to discuss it. I don't really want to get into it. I just kind of want to go to work, do my job, come home, hang out with my friends, shoot the shit. Because every day it seems like there's one more thing that you either have to be aware about, angry about, or like have an opinion on. And immediately, if you don't, you are like, oh, but you're just
the wrong person. Yes. You're
you
toxic,
are wrong.
You're cancelled.
Love it.
Oh God, these bad words.
But
Yeah.
this kind of obviously happens, I think, a lot more to young girls and women on the internet, because unfortunately or fortunately, I'm pretty active on Twitter. Like, I enjoy Twitter because I used to think of it as a source for news. Then I realized what is happening on Twitter. And once you start following people, you start seeing the comments, like what people just feel. I mean, people have the balls to say just anything to anyone. There's no filter, there's no thinking also 2 seconds before they just shoot off. And you start thinking, you're like, I think we've gone the opposite way, is that we're going to land up having a bunch of kids growing up who are going to be afraid of saying things that they actually want to say, that they feel strongly about, they feel passionately about, because like you said, they're scared for their mom, they're scared for their dad, they're scared for their sister. They don't want their family dragged into this. They don't want their house to be picketed, because you don't know today how bad a situation is going to get. You just don't know what one thing you say and where it goes. And I feel already in India, we're so scared as women to like do so many things, because you're like, safety first. Like, that's, you know, even with the podcast, I remember my mom telling me earlier, she was like, just be careful about what you say on the internet. And I used to be like, what's wrong with you? Like, this is a free country and it's free speech. And I'm a feminist and I'm proud and I'm like out there and I have a job and I'm working. And I mean, like 6 episodes in, I think it was our mental health episode. And we had some situation in it. And I was like, no, I just cannot say anything. Will not say anything, because God forbid you say something that's not supportive to every single person on the entire spectrum that you don't even know about. Sometimes it's just like, I'm ignorant. I didn't know. I wasn't trying to offend you. I just didn't know. How can you say something to me? I didn't mean it.
Yeah, people are very quick to cancel you for things. Sometimes you deserve to be cancelled, let's be honest. But sometimes it can be a very, as you mentioned, say some things out of ignorance. But as long as you acknowledge it, as long as you learn about it, as long as you are like, okay, I made a mistake and I apologize and I learned from it, then I think like people should move on. I mean,
it's also really sad that we live in a time where there can be heavy consequences for standing up for what is right. By saying things that stand for something that's right, but there are absolutely no consequences for people who bully or people who shame you online. Because there are so many more people who are saying bad things, who are bullying you, who are we know what's happening on Twitter. It's one of the most toxic platforms online. But there are no consequences. Absolutely. But they don't have to think twice before posting something. But if you're posting something that's right, you have to think 50 times before posting. And that's so sad.
Absolutely. Like that, I could not agree with you more about, like, there's this horrible caught between the devil and the deep blue sea situation where, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And sometimes and that's why you have people who want to just put their head in the sand and be like, listen, I just want to get drunk.
I can't. I just want to drink and just hang loose.
I can't.
No, but should we slip into a baby break and come back on this note, on this rather intense note?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Would like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, CED. We really do appreciate your support. We have a new show on the network. It's called The Fighting Goat. And if you love fighting sports, tune in every Wednesday with hosts Arjun and Somesh. They also feature, by the way, on Cyrus Says this week, where the 3 fitness freaks bonded over their love for TV sports and sports in general. Tune in to This Round Is On Me, where Gauri celebrated her 25th anniversary with Kavita Rajwade, who is my co-founder at the IVM Podcast Network. They give us details about how this show was curated, and they talk about podcasts in general. On The Habit Coach, Ashton highlighted our addiction to screens, how we are glued to either a big laptop screen or a small mobile screen all day. He shared some tips on how to rectify this unhealthy lifestyle. On All Things Policy, Anirudh Kanisetti spoke to Pratik Vakre and Rohan Sheth about the new internet guidelines that were issued by the Government of India recently and their impact on content creators and platforms. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik invited Vivek Ram, who is a celebrated animation artist. They chatted about his stint with animation and starting his own studio called Vanar Sena, bringing to life stories from ancient India and his scriptures with animation as his vehicle. We had Dhanya Rajendran, the editor of the News Minute, on the Note with Maruk Inayat. It was a deep dive into the digital newsroom and the upkeep of truth in a fake news pandemic. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
Welcome back. We're talking to Priyanka and Supriya Joshi, the awesome duo who we are obsessed with. And now we're going to talk about babies. Do you sometimes get scared? Like I get scared where I finally got to the age or stage, I think, where my biology is saying that we want to have a kid. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Since we're talking about babies, which of us want to even have babies now that we're talking about babies? Because a big part of being a woman and all of these things, maybe we can just touch upon it.
Our hormones are, I don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
I know this for a fact that I'm practically, I don't want to have a baby. But
Okay.
sometimes you look at some videos or sometimes there is just a baby near you. There hasn't been one for me for a very long time.
No,
And then
but you are
suddenly
right.
there is, don't you feel like there's this something,
Feeling
Yes.
inside
such a
you.
Yes.
primitive instinct inside of you that you're
I'm
like,
so
"Oh my
pissed
God,
off.
I want one."
Yes.
I'm
You're like,
so
"Oh my
pissed
God,
off.
I want a baby to be growing in my womb. I want to
Yes.
experience childbirth." So I don't know, such a primitive feeling, but practically I know that I don't want to have.
But I'm
this
so
feeling
pissed
upsets
off.
me. Yes, I am pissed off as well.
Yes.
Because for all of my life, for I would say for 90% of my life, I have been a baby hater. I don't like children.
You know,
But
it seems
now-
on brand for you.
Yeah. So if you have an idea about whom I am, then with babies that fits. I was a child hater. I just did not like children. But I don't know what happened. I still don't like children. But when I see some cute bacha, I'm like,
Could be
what
nice.
would I feel like? I would be able to raise this child so well, give all those nice,
And then we just tell each other, "Yeah, tu kar le, yaar, tu kar le."
I would
I would
be
be such a great aunt, yeah. Kar
please,
le.
I would give your child
Yeah.
so much love. So that
I would be the
comes.
cool aunt. Please have a baby.
Yeah.
Like
So
these conversations now we have
yeah.
at a time where our biological clocks are probably like closed for business. But these are things that we are still feeling. So we don't
Yeah.
know.
We have no
So there's-
control over
so
it.
there's no
They
hope
just
is what
come
you're
out of
saying.
nowhere.
I mean, I don't know if hope is the right word. There's no.
No, there's hope in terms of like fighting this feeling because I'm
Oh,
saying I
yeah.
max relate to what Priyanka is saying is
Yeah.
that like I have grown up being someone who was I used to think of a very altruistic way. I was like, no, you don't need to bring more babies into the world. It
Yeah,
doesn't seem feasible.
Yes,
I was a financial drain on my parents. I don't want that on myself.
absolutely.
So I used to strongly feel that way. And I was like, there's no need. Like, I have a lot of friends, take care of all their kids, be the cool aunt. But then recently, since last year, I can't help it. Like, I feel like there's like this weird pulsating
Yeah.
feeling inside me that's like,
Yeah.
do
It's
we
like a
want to have a
magnet.
kid?
Semen magnet.
And the sheer lack and distance between me and fertilization is so vast.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, there's
vast.
so many. There are so many challenges in becoming a mother. Period. Like period too, including period.
Including
There's
period.
so many challenges to
Period
becoming
included.
a mother. Yeah. So for those who have, I mean, I don't know. It's so difficult, and I can't even express. I don't even have the words for
Do you-
some mothers who go through so much to have a baby, and
Yeah.
when they do it, it must be such a joyful feeling, like to have a baby. And man, I don't know why. Why do I want to experience
Why are we
childbirth?
doing this? Yeah.
Yeah. Why do I want to experience it? It sounds
I would just
painful.
like to pop in and say Yeah, but also honestly, I don't know, but maybe it is the biology
Yeah.
of it and the
No, I think it is.
hormones and the very
It
fact
has
that
to be.
Yes.
this whole celebration of being a woman and all, matlab, it's like interwoven in this very fabric of having a vagina.
About your parents. Now, you guys are, you're like you said, like your clock at this time, all the way ready for babies. Do your parents put any pressure on you to like have kids, get married, quote unquote, settle down?
No. They are. I mean, like any other parent, they want us. They want us to settle down. They would love for us to settle down.
Yeah,
But they have never been the kind who have pressurized us to do it.
that's
Yeah.
so cool.
You know, we just tell them that, like, our father doesn't say anything. He doesn't interfere in this business at all. It's our mother who keeps trying every now and then. She says, "Kar lo." You know those typical parent dialogues.
Of
"हम लोग
course.
चले जाएंगे तो क्या? कौन तुम्हारा ख्याल रखेगा?" All of that typical things that every parent says. She says that, but she doesn't really
Yeah.
push us.
And they
yeah.
never have
Yeah.
pushed us, which I think we are actually very grateful
Yes.
for.
Yeah, that's
Because
really cool.
if that is not a pressure on our heads, it has allowed us to do the things that
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
So at least that one pressure is not there. I mean, surely it is their dream to see us married. One of their biggest dreams would be to see
Yeah.
us married. But I think they respect that it's not in our list of priority at the moment.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But so just think, like on a larger scale, if people stop putting that pressure on so many young girls and stuff like that, imagine what you could maybe find the time
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Absolutely.
joy and creativity to be like, oh, I'm not bound by this timeline that I've put myself on. I can do so much more.
Yeah.
I can be
Yeah.
30
Yeah.
plus and not be defined by like a husband or a wife or children.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really cool that you guys have that relationship with them. It's very admirable.
Do you guys ever feel like
We
you
are
could-
very lucky.
Yeah, we lucked out.
Yeah.
Natasha, are you crying?
Yeah, of course. Always very
Aw.
much inspired by kind parents who provide a supportive environment for this kind of, especially when you've had two daughters and parents who've just done this. And these are not parents who've had kids in this generation. You guys are both in your 30s.
Yeah.
Your parents have been
Yeah.
way ahead of their time, so to speak. And that's just amazing. And I love
My
that.
mom always says that she always just wanted girls. She actually feels happy she didn't have boys.
That's
So
me
we are both-
also. I never want to have a son.
You know, by the way, you shouldn't say this. My cousin
Oh,
told me
God.
this. She's saying all my life I said I don't want sons. I don't want sons. She has 3.
Oh God. Imagine having the third kid just praying it's a girl and that also has a dick. You're like,
Dude, I told her, I was like, you have a problem. Like, it's clear. You should have stopped. Now you have 3. It's such a miserable experience. But
I feel bad for her.
I mean,
Yeah.
no,
I
but
mean, she has 3 lovely children.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's
Gender
great.
doesn't
yeah. Then
matter,
you
of
have
course.
to then you have to think of it that way. And
Yeah.
but I really do feel like as girls, the joy of being a girl and the joy of being like a young woman, all of that, I think that really psychs me up when I think about having a kid. Because we were just talking about how like sometimes your biology is wanting it. I really, really want to have a girl. Like, even if it
Yeah.
means doing IVF or kind of figuring it out or adopting or whatever it is, I don't care what someone says about gender stereotype. I don't give a I really want to have a girl. And I'm so excited to like raise a girl. Maybe, God willing, it'll be easier for her than it was for me, than it was for my mom,
Yeah.
than it was for my grandmom. Like the choices that they had and the choices that maybe our kids could have. I think sometimes you think back, you're like, shit, that's exciting. And I want to have someone to.
Very eloquent. Very, very, very well
Yeah.
articulated, Ayushi.
I hope that happens for you.
Yes.
If you want it to happen for you, that is.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do. That's something,
Ashirwad.
I think that's something that I've taken control of, like in the last 1 year, being at home and having this time discussing a lot with my parents was such a big decision, and telling them that, look, I'm single, I'm going to be 29 next month, and I want to think about like freezing my eggs. And that's something that I want to actively do, because I now know that I want to have kids. And if it's not going to happen in the next couple of years, let me just make the practical decisions to do this. And my dad was like,
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you think you're ready, you don't really need a guy. Just give me grandchildren. And I was like,
Yeah.
even if you're kind of
That's
joking,
amazing.
I
That's awesome.
appreciate that sentiment that you would be supportive to be like, okay, if I haven't found the person that I want to have a kid with in the next couple, like 3-4 years, then maybe do this by yourself. And so you're right, Dash. I mean, it's so cool. I appreciate parents who've done that for their daughters, specifically for their daughters, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But all these lovely things about our parents aside, can we just take a moment to talk about how annoying it is also to live with them as grown as adult women with needs for independence and privacy and many other things?
They don't understand the word privacy.
This last year has really taught us. This last year has really taught us a lot about our parents, because last year is the only year we realized, oh, our parents are actually, this is my parents' personality. This is
Yes.
this one whole year helped us see them for the people they are, not our parents.
Yeah.
And they are,
We've discussed
Yeah.
this, yeah.
yeah, as roommates, sure. If I have to have flatmates, I'm fine. I would prefer, it's okay. But if I could live by myself, oh my god, that would be beautiful, amazing. No disrespect to
dream.
my parents. No disrespect
Exactly.
to them. I love them a lot. But
yeah.
I don't love them that much.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them 100%. But there's that one point decimal somewhere which makes me like, अरे यार काश मेरा खुद का घर होता एक जिसमें मैं रह सकता.
And that the amount of times that you have to, and I think the pandemic, it helped. Definitely it helped. I think a lot of families come together and all of that jazz, but it also just made you realize you're like, dude, I gotta move out. I have to make this happen for myself somehow. Get another job, do something, start a podcast, hope it pays me, meet people on the internet, become a famous influencer, something, earn money, get out. And I love them, like you said. Best people, love them, in my corner 24/7, wouldn't trade them for the world. But I have to move out. It's too much.
It's last year we were supposed to move out, but then
Yeah.
Yeah.
the earth
Pandemic.
had different plans.
You guys bought a house together.
Yes. This is
no?
the house that we're
Yes.
living in right now.
That is
Purchased
one of the
it.
things.
That is so cool.
beautiful.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, it is one of the biggest goals
Guys, you all are
of our
making
lives.
power like sisters. Badass babes. Boss babes. Bad. All of these dumb words together.
Yeah, all of it.
That's incredible.
Hustler babes.
What is the rush? What is the rush like? Yeah, hustler. How you felt, guys?
See, the thing is that the whole process of purchasing a house is exhausting. It is exhausting. So when it's finally done, I felt nothing at that point in time. I was like, "Ye ho gaya kya?" Because it went on
Thank
for
God.
so long that like ye ho gaya. And we were outside the place where we were signing all the documents, and so it was like, "Okay, we bought a house. Come, let's take a picture." I was like, "Ye sach mein ho gaya kya ye?" And after that, when it was all done, like, okay, this is good. This is good.
Yeah, only like if you literally sit down to think about it, कि oh my god, यार,
Yeah.
Bombay में मेरा घर है, इससे बड़ी
Yeah.
बात और क्या हो सकती है?
Yeah.
So that's when
Yeah.
it hits you like, oh wow, that's great. We have a house of our own in Bombay. That's amazing. Very proud of ourselves that
Yeah.
we were able to do this. But we still want to move out of this house.
Yeah, like I think personally I felt really happy for my parents, because it was always, and more than parents, I would say my mother, because it was always her dream that we have a house of our own. So like growing up, we used to see how much, when there were buildings being constructed, and she used to go there and
Yeah.
ask them, like what would the infrastructure be like, this and that. This has been a dream for our mother, not so much for our father. Our father is a very YOLO kind of guy.
Yeah.
So he He's like,
Yeah.
oh, nahi, it doesn't matter. But like our mom has had these, like, yeah, exactly. Like she has had these, these dreams. And you know how moms are, right? They never impose their dreams on anyone. But they'll make these
Yeah.
small,
Comments.
like,
Gestures.
yeah, gestures which you have to catch. And then you know ki, okay, ye usko chahiye. So you have, and I feel like when that happened, and again, that made me feel really good that one of her dreams it's really come true, that now this is her space, this is her house. So that was the better feeling. Now I'll actually feel really happy when we'll move out. That's when I will answer this question. How
But
did it feel?
you've done
I
that.
am
That
so
will be, we
excited
will
for
be
you all
doing
too.
cartwheels, I
Cartwheels.
think.
Yeah, because
Guys-
2 reasons. One is that now we're friends. So when you move,
We are going to come to your joint bachelor sister pad.
Please come.
Yeah, please.
To
Please come, but
rage.
it will not be in South Bombay. South Bombay people don't come to North
Babe.
Bombay. That's the problem.
that's a lie. That's a
I am a
full
Maladian.
lie.
I'm an ex-Maladian.
Yeah, no, you're back to your roots. You're a South Mumbai.
My sister lives in
Mumbaian.
Malad still, okay, guys? So I'm between
Really?
both.
Oh, okay.
Okay, then you'll
then
come.
it's
Then
fine.
no problem.
Then it's no problem.
But I think the cool thing that you guys did is you all bought
Yeah.
yourself a really good out, which is that you bought your parents the flat and the apartment. It's like, what a lovely gesture, this big move, like it was amazing and everything. And now you can be like, and on this note, we
We are leaving. Bye.
but we did the good thing.
Yeah, I
we
wish-
did the good thing. We did the responsible thing, the supportive thing. You couldn't
Yes.
ask for better kids. Peace out.
Yes. I really wish that we could do it. But there are so many things that are connected to us
Oh, 100%.
being together. Like people ask me, Jay, when the hell are you moving out of this house? You're 35. Shouldn't you be moving out of this house? La 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 la. But yes, it's not about should. I want to move out of this. I want to live my own life. I want to be separate now. I want to see what I am like. I really feel like you don't know who you are until you start living by yourself, because
100%.
even though you're not dependent on your parents for many things now, I'm not dependent on them for anything. But still, I know कि हाँ lunch time में मम्मी रोटी दे ही देगी मुझे.
Exactly.
I don't have to think about making roti because माँ दे देगी मुझे. So you don't really know who you are until you live by yourself. But there are so many circumstances in our house, in our personal lives, which unfortunately makes us stay here. The plan was to move out last year, but then the pandemic happened. The plan again was to move out early this year, then something else happened. So now let's see, let's play it by ear. The goal is for us to move out of the house. We don't know when, but I think there will be a perfect time for it. We'll realize it ourselves and then we'll just...
Yeah. Ayushi and I also have a small personal goal. No matter what happens, we have to live together, but outside our parents' homes for at least minimum 6 months to 1 year.
Yeah.
हमें ये life चाहिए.
And we have
life में, and when to do it? Now is the only time. Like
so the goal for 2021,
pre-marriage era.
Yeah, the goal for 2021 is to make sure that this happens in 2022.
Or 2020.
Yes,
yeah.
that's a great
Before
goal.
Ayushi gets married, basically.
Before, because the line is so right outside, I have to pick and choose, right? I have jumped steps. I have been planning the child before the partner.
Progressive, babe.
Very super progressive.
Progressive babe. And all that. I have one question, guys. How do you deal when you get overwhelmed?
How do you deal when you get overwhelmed? That's the question.
Yeah,
right?
that was the question. It overwhelmed me with the sound.
I feel like my way of dealing it is the worst way, because like I said, I'm very guarded with my emotions and I'm an overthinker. So whatever I'm processing inside my head, I'm answering it with the worst possible answers. So I just shut down. That's my coping mechanism. That is how I deal with things when I get overwhelmed. And I just don't say anything. And even if if I get a little bit emotional, if I cry, even if I'm alone, I don't know why. I've never been the kind of person who cries. So I'm not that person. Many people say, "मैं bathroom में जाकर के I will cry." I don't do that also. I just can't bring myself to. Even if I cry, I will stop myself. So I don't know. When I get overwhelmed, I just shut down. I just shut down for the longest
Dude,
time.
that's not.
It's not good. It's really
It's not
bad.
healthy. This is like the worst behavior.
It's not healthy at all.
I agree with you 100%.
It's the worst behavior.
Because Ayushi is the same person.
Yes. So, it's, yeah, I can sense that. Because, when you suppress all of that inside, there is a physical aspect to it. You can feel those emotions. And I can feel like, everything. You can see stuff, but you can feel a very dark energy around you. You can feel it.
Yes.
And yes, you feel, you just don't feel like saying anything, and you feel like you weigh a ton. So you just feel you keep lying down, and the bed just hugs you and puts you inside to sleep. That's it. That's how I kind of, that's not even, that's just what happens when I feel overwhelmed. I don't cope. And then it just keeps it keeps going on till there's some other distraction, and then it's like we forget about that and move on. It's like that. So I don't think I ever deal with it. I just move on. Whereas Supriya has very different ways of
I cry. I tell Priyanka, but sometimes if it's extreme, then I don't even talk to her also about what I'm going through. I'm just process it in my head. But I am able to pull myself out of these things. I go online, like on my Instagram, and I just talk to strangers because I feel it's just easier to talk to them. And I feel the way I process my emotions is I have to verbalize it. So if I'm feeling something, I feel like I already have the answers inside of me. So I don't know, it's not coming out from my mouth. So the answer. So I just start scribbling on my notebook or something until I see what my mind is thinking. And it takes me a while to get out of feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes if it's a good type of overwhelm also, I sometimes feel undeserving of happiness.
Same.
Or undeserving of something I'm receiving. So that happens to some. So yeah, that's just how it is.
I wanted to ask Priyanka because I feel like this is something that for me, it's really interesting to meet someone who also has a very similar dynamic. Is that when you said the thing of that when you get overwhelmed, sometimes it almost feels like a crushing weight. Do you sometimes feel like that crazy, weird darkness is inside you and you're trying to get it out because you know that the healthy thing is to get it out? And you said, going to the bathroom to cry. I feel like in the last couple of years, I've tried actively to go to the bathroom and look at myself and be like, we are sad. We're sad right now. The right way to do this is to cry, is to get it out. But it doesn't come out like that. It comes out in it further bottles down. And then like after 3 months, something will happen. And then there will be a massive trigger. And then it just comes out like acid. It's just anything and everyone who speaks to you, it's like, you are the worst.
Yes.
I hate you. I can't deal with this. And then you land up like you're being bad to your friends, your parents, and you don't understand why this is happening. Then you realize it's like, because in Jan, I didn't acknowledge that I was upset about something else. And now it's March and now I have to deal with this.
Yes. So exactly what you said, where I feel like then, when that emotion cannot get out, is when my nature becomes very irritable, and that then turns into a really angry person, a really, really angry person. So that is exactly how, I don't know, I wouldn't say that I'm dealing with it. It's not
exactly.
dealing.
We are not dealing at all.
We are not dealing. It's just how it is. It needs to change, but What I find really fascinating is that two people who have grown up in the same household can be so different when it comes to coping with your emotions. Like,
Yeah.
we've had the same upbringing.
Yeah. In this process of being an adult woman or whatever, I've realized that there are so many people that live inside of you, like the angry person that comes out, or that the sad one, or the childish one, the funny one. To acknowledge all of these different moments that live inside of us.
Yeah.
So,
But I think what you're saying is right, is that there's so many versions of us inside one person. And I think you were just saying about acknowledging each one of them, finding their own importance. Is that what you were trying to
Yes.
say? I think.
I guess, even dealing is like, you don't have to deal. Even acknowledging is, I think, a step to deal.
Yes.
Now you can translate, because that's how we are recording today.
No, we heard you. We heard you.
Oh, thank God.
But yeah, we get it. It's sometimes it's like how when you meditate and you get a certain, this is the prompt that you always get when you're meditating, is when you get a thought in your mind when you're meditating, you don't like ponder over it. You acknowledge that I have a thought, and then you let it go. So
Okay. Yeah.
even just
I love
acknowledging
that.
even acknowledging that you have a certain thought or a certain feeling just makes you a little more detached from negativity, and just being okay. Yeah, okay, cool. That's just part of what I feel right now. It's not who I am all the time. It's not the only thing that defines me. But right now I felt bad, and that's okay. I felt bad, and then you move on to the next thing.
Say it. And now, as you can tell by this echo, Ritasha has left the room. And
Yes.
come out into the hall.
They've banished me to the room where there's no internet. Ye kya?
You
Anyway.
took the ring light.
You know what? I think this is the universe telling us we've had a great episode and it's time to wrap it up. Guys, this has been so wonderful.
We've
It has
had a
been the
great
greatest honor
Yes.
of my life to speak to both of you on this show with Ayushi.
Yes, you have no idea how much this has meant to us. Thank you so
Likewise.
much for joining us. And
Thank you.
we'll plug your handles.
Sure.
Yes, tell us where to follow you.
Hi, my name is Priyanka, and you can follow me and find me on @Pingya, which is PINGYA. I'm only on Instagram. Please, Twitter mein mat dhulna, main nahi hu udhar.
And my name is Supriya, and you can find me on Superwoman, also mostly on Instagram. I'm definitely no. If you're a BTS army, you can follow me on Twitter. I only post about BTS over there. Same handle
Amazing.
@Superwoman.
Ayushi
But I
is
don't
quickly
post-
looking for you.
I don't tweet that often, but when I tweet, it's only about BTS. So if you want to follow me there, go ahead.
Yeah, because of you only I've become army. So
Sick one. Ladies, I wish you all a very happy day every day, or a sad day, or an angry day, or whatever day it is. And to
Yeah,
celebrate the
we wish
human
you the
experience
same.
as an adult in this world.
पेश खिदमत है आपकी शान में हमारे अंजुमन से हाय आई एम सदफ
And I'm Arshit. खाने का इतिहास, इकोनॉमिक्स, पॉलिसी, साइकोलॉजी सब है मेन्यू पे.
ओनली ऑन द नानकरी पॉडकास्ट एवरी वेडनेसडे सिर्फ IVM पॉडकास्ट ऐप या वेबसाइट पर या फिर जहां से भी आप अपने पॉडकास्ट सुनते हो.
Working Monday to Friday glued to your chair making you feel dull? Worry not. Get your 5-minute weekly dose of travel around the world with Postcards from Nowhere. Join me every Thursday as I explore the strange, obscure, and fascinating parts of the world and bring out facets of travel you may not have thought of before. You can find us on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you get your podcast from.